Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode on the Glory Reds FC. It's your boys, Benito and Dee. And you know how it is. It's Pastor D in the house. What's good, my guy?
All is well, man. All is well. What's happening on your ends?
All is good, man. All is good. But we have this big topic, man. We have this big topic, the match reaction. You know, we were gunned down by the Gunners 3-1. And I know a lot of fans are just like, what the hell? I know some of them, I mean, they don't really pay attention to the tactical or the intricacies of the game. They just see it 3-1 and they're like, what the hell? They were disappointed and what. But there are some positives and there are also some negatives, and that's what we're going to jump into. So, D, what's your first, like your initial thought, like the first thing that comes into mind in that game?
Yeah.
What stuck out for you?
So I think what stuck out for me was, despite us having our usual midfield setup that works, it didn't work today. You know what I mean? Like, we were still getting overrun in that midfield. Arsenal had, a lot of the possession in the first half. So were literally pressed in our half, for the first half of the match. Thankfully, Arsenal are not ticking. They're playing well. They're definitely playing better than us, but they're not like the Arsenal of last season. Like, they're still trying to find, like, I don't know if it's Kai Havertz is in the team, and they're not really fluid with him, because we did definitely see in the second half when he did come off, he's just coming on, though they look like a way much better Arsenal side. Let me not get ahead of myself. But yeah, man, I think just talk about United. Like, it was just that thing of there's just no consistency in that team in terms of performance, the chemistry between the players. It's like the players are playing with two different tactics, or it's like they were playing with two different tactics when we went out there to the Emirates. Because in some cases, it's like we were playing the long ball game, and we saw a lot of balls just being kicked out, you know. And then there are also a lot of cases where it's like we're trying to draw Arsenal, especially especially from goal kicks. We're trying to draw Arsenal into like our area, and then we'll play the ball out from the back, and just predominantly on Sancho's wing, and then we're trying to carry the ball out. You understand? And nothing was going through the midfield. It was either through the wide channels, or it was either long balls being played out. So we're not playing through the middle, and I don't know what exactly was going on. Like, I don't know what was the game plan for that game, because we just couldn't see it. Obviously, we did have a feeling that Arsenal have always been a good possessive team, even before Arteta. So we always knew that Arsenal were at least, and plus they're playing home, we knew that at least they're going to have, the lion's share of possession. And how United play usually in those situations, we play counter-attacking football. But even to that regard, it didn't seem that way. I mean, we got lucky with Kai Havertz's misplaced pass, and then our counter attack to get us our first goal. But other than that, there wasn't anything in that game particularly well that I can say, oh, at least we did that well, or we did this great, or whatever. It was just a very disjointed match overall, with the usual moments of brilliance, which never resulted in anything. I know there's one opportunity Rashford had running down the flanks, could have made the pass to Hoyland running down the middle and running down wide. Gets into the final third, panics, poor decision making. All the Arsenal fans are backing defense, and then it's just like, Hail Mary, kick the ball, and let's see what happens. And it's
that pissed me off. That blew my top, bro. Like, especially at the time it came. Hey, exactly. I almost popped a vein, bro.
Yeah. Poor decision making. Yeah.
Nice,
what's your take? What's your take on the match? How do you feel we fared in that game, and who do you think were the standout players?
I know I might shock people, because even when I was watching the game, I was furious, bro. I was angry. Like I was like going mad at certain things. But these are like the things that I am used to. Like these are the things that United have kind of like put me in, especially when they make like basic errors. Basic errors, they make me angry because when you look at other teams, they don't make these basic errors. And we are our players, we always go back to this thing. So that those small little details, those things, when they don't get them right, they annoy me a lot. And you mentioned Rashford, but for me, I want to give a shout out to our back line, the one that held it right up until 1-1. I mean, I get the equalizer because I remember you mentioned something. I don't know if it was before our chat or during the Sancho v um Eric Ten Hag show, but you mentioned something about, oh my god, where has it gone? Where has it gone? Where has it gone? See, now it has slipped my mind. Now I don't even know what the hell. But anyway, so I want to give a shout out to the defense, man. I mean, so like I was saying, like right up until those changes were made, I think we held our own. It's a very strange thing, and I know, but I think only United fans can understand what I'm trying to say. In a weird way, I think Arsenal got away with it, in the sense that it didn't work out for us because of what was happening within the squad. Like everything just fell apart. But if we had it our way, if Martinez wasn't injured, didn't have a yellow, and Lindelof didn't have a yellow as well, and was fit, I think that game would have ended 1-1. I don't know if you feel some type of way, but I feel like the changes really, really, because that was a significant drop. You can imagine, like that drop was so huge and it was so visible. Like it was like, oh my God. But I want to give a shout out to the defense because this Arsenal side, man, they're a problem. I know they're not firing on all cylinders right now, but they are a problem. Martinelli and Saka. You look at Saka, everybody's praising the Lord for shutting down Saka. I mean, I get it, and I clap him for that. But I don't know, for some reason, I have a different. I'm I'm like Roy Keane on this. I'm like, yo, that's what he's supposed to do. Like, I'm not even going to like. I give him credit for shutting down Saka, but it was not a worldie like everybody's making it seem. So, but I'm happy. I am happy. I need more, and I know at the same time he was playing out of position. That I need to mention. He's playing out of position, but my God, yes, he did a job shutting down Saka. Saka didn't breathe jack. And on this other side, Martinelli, he was trying his things. Wan Bissaka was a little bit annoying in terms of like he would allow him and then last minute get him. Those things, man. Just get it out. Get it out one time. Like, let's get done and move forward.
Yeah.
Then we move on to the midfield. The midfield was a little bit balanced. Remember, we had the conversation with the whole mount thing. Unfortunately, fortunately for us, it was a bit balanced. Yes, we were overrun a little bit, but it wasn't big. There was a very nice midfield battle in that area. And I think the reason why it is that because those guys had a weak link. They had Kai Havertz. Kai Havertz made it easy for us to look a little bit good because if they had maybe Thomas Partey in there, we would have maybe had another problem. You know what I mean? Because they are solid at the back and they're also pushing forward. So in terms of that, the midfield was okay, but we need more. Overall, I was disappointed with the performance in terms of those little small details. My captain, I'm scared. I don't know. Like, I saw something that pissed me off, but I didn't want to entertain it. People are like, this guy is not a captain. So I don't know. And I ask myself this question. I'm like, okay, why are people saying it? Was Bruno, okay, as a captain, was he missing in action? What happened yesterday? Because maybe I saw something different. He didn't stand out, but he put in the graph that we know Bruno to do. Now, unfortunately for Bruno, if he doesn't score, if he doesn't provide an assist as usual, especially in these clutch games, it almost looks like he's silent and he's not being a captain. So what
Yeah.
are your thoughts on that? Like how do you interpret that situation?
Yeah, and I think this is something that I spoke about in the Eric v. Sancho conversation is that
Yeah.
at the moment this team is not playing well.
Yeah.
And the result is it's really looking bad on a lot of players that although yes they're not having their best of performance,
Yeah.
but they're also not as bad as perceived to be. So
Yes.
looking at Bruno Fernandes, I get why people are saying all this thing about is he a captain because of maybe his antics.
Mm.
But overall, I don't think there's anyone else who's better to lead this United team, because he's one player who certainly leads by example, by the effort, that he puts in the team with this never give up attitude and, always trying to make something tick. He wants to like shoulder the responsibility of Man United by himself. And if those are not the traits of a captain, then I don't know. So
Thank
for
you.
people to even come out and question that is don't try and pick a fight where
Where there's no fight. Hey,
there's
bruh.
no fight. You know what
Ah,
I mean? Like there's
yeah.
no one who comes close to what Bruno Fernandes is all about in that team and the importance that he has in that squad. So
Preach.
again, I just think it boils down to the team just not collectively playing well together,
Yeah.
and something needs to be done in order for us to be getting more out of these players and more out of this team. But one thing I can say is that I have like in this Arsenal game, right?
Yeah.
Although we did lose, and you can say it was down to 5 margins, and this game literally could have gone anyway. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I mean,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
look at that. Just look at that sitter that Kai Havertz missed
Bro.
in the first half. That could have changed the outcome of the game completely. We could have been looking at
Saka's
a completely different goal.
and
Saka's
those,
missing the second half. The offside decision of Garnacho. The penalty decision of Kai Havertz. You know what I mean? This game
bro.
literally could have gone in any direction, But you're right in also saying that this game was for anyone to win. And it was just unfortunate that Man United going into this game were handicapped. And true, you can't say the same for Arsenal, but in all fairness, Arsenal are not missing they're not missing like the spine of their team. They're not missing the core players that make their team tick. Whereas every
Yes.
single time United, we're always stuck in these situations where we go and face a big team and we always have to make this excuse for the players that could have made a difference are just not available.
Yeah.
Luke Shaw not available. Varane not available. Martinez getting injured. um Ericsson and Casemiro are not up to scratch. You understand what I mean? We don't have a striker. Martial has been injured. He's just coming back from injury. He's still trying to get, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
in line with everything. We just bought Rasmus Højlund. Like we can't expect him to go in there for us and win the game for us. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we always get into these situations where we're either half baked or we just don't. We're not like it's. I can't remember the last time we played a big team and we're going into that match with all our players firing. We're on good form and there's no injuries. Every
Yeah.
single time we get into these games, United are always handicapped hard. Arsenal not handicapped. The only player they can literally say that they didn't have was Timber, who's not even a player of theirs last season, so it doesn't disrupt anything. You
Yeah.
understand what I mean? He got
Yeah.
injured the first game of the season, so it doesn't change anything about their defense, which has been good, right? Partey, they do have adequate replacements in that field for Partey. It's not going to be a train smash without Partey. And then, of course, Kai Havertz, they had Jesus on the bench. You know what I mean? Fabio and Tomiyasu, the rest who came on. And those boys are not like off form the way our boys are coming onto that pitch. You understand what I
Yes.
mean? So
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
game was always going to be in Arsenal's favor if it was taken down to the wire. And unfortunately, it was taken down to the wire. And Arteta could play those advantages. We had no defense left. We had to bring on um, a relegated defender. You know what I mean? And a player who should even be starting for this team in the first place. That's who we had to count on to see us through the rest of the game. With those at a time. And what Arsenal bringing in? They're bringing in all the big guns. You know what I mean? They're bringing in Tomiyasu. They're bringing in Jesus. They're bringing in. You understand what? These are not like
Heavy hitters. Yeah.
these are heavy hitters. You understand what I mean? How do you expect Man United to cope against that when we don't even have options of coming off the bench to try and stop that attack. So this game was dead from the start. It was dead from the start, but United didn't take advantage when we could take advantage.
Yes.
And unfortunately, that loss was just to our, you know what I mean? It just came down to, it's just our fault. We could have taken a point, but we didn't defend and we allowed them to get 2 goals time in the 97th minute and then the 100th minute. Can you imagine that?
Bro.
Unreal. That game was done, but because of this new extra time, Lexus extra time, fam, we got played, man.
Bro, I am planning a separate session about these referees. Like, I'm going to give it to the fans about these referees. I've got a bone to pick with these referees, man. So I will cover that. I will check on these guys. These guys are not serious, bro. They are not serious. They are also another department that need questioning. This coaching, this Howard Webb, this nigga has now just changed. He's putting on suits. Is he joking?
Oh man!
But yeah, man. Enough of the negativity. There was at least there was some sort of positives. I mean, come on.
100%,
There was a little
100%.
bright spark in our new number 11. Asthma's oil. Huh? Talk to me, D. Talk to me, man. Great, I know you saw what I saw.
No, I saw what you saw. Like, great introduction.
Give it to me, man.
You know what? In all fairness, and I don't want to make comparisons, and I don't want people to take this the wrong way.
Yeah.
But basically, what he was doing is things that Martial does. Holding the ball very well. Playing against his back, making passes, breaking into plays, breaking into positions, whatever. But I'll shout that for another day because I still need to get into an episode about Martial and Rasmus Højlund. I don't know if you remember me telling you about that, but I think in short, let me not take the spotlight away from Rasmus.
Yeah.
I think he gave us like a glimpse of what we can expect. You know what I mean? That
strong,
you know what I mean, imposing striker who just bullies the defense and you know what I mean? Like, I'm going to get this ball, I'm going to control it, I'm going to either bust past you or I'm going to feed it to someone, get him poison, and I'm going to give basically a striker that is giving fear into these defenders' eyes because we haven't had a striker in a long time.
Thank you.
Defense like a worry. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, Rasmus is on the pitch. How are we going to stop him?
You see how I knew you can take this verse? Man, I knew you could take this verse. I knew it. I knew it. You're preaching. I knew you could take this verse, my guy. Continue. Continue.
But man.
Come on.
But man, it's so good that we have, this player at Man United that once nurtured properly, and just taking control of his natural abilities and his natural skills, we can actually make this guy like one of the most feared strikers in the Premier League. Period.
Bro.
We want every single time they see that lineup and they see Rasmus Højlund, managers should be like, I want all you defenders on this boy. Come what may. Have you seen the way defenders surround Haaland when he gets the ball at City? It should be the same for us. It should be panic. Midfielders, everybody. Opening up space for the other players. We need to have the type of terror because right now they've just had a taste of it. A small taste of it. We need to give them the whole bouquet, my guy. They need to have the whole party. You know what I mean? They need to know what. That's what I'm saying. We just gave them the starters, my fam. We gave them you know what I mean? These little. Exactly. Something to nibble on. Like, don't worry. The main course is coming. The main course is
one time.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
And you know what? And you know what? We're not trying to get ahead of ourselves because we 100%. Know that this guy is a developmental player. He's young, but he has the profile of striker that we want, what we need, especially this kind of the Premier League, the era that we're in. We need players like him. With his size, he looks scary fast. Like there was that little moment where he had like a little 10 meter dash, and I was like, oh boy, these guys are not ready. They are not ready. And then he's just going to be bulldozing over. Nah. That's exactly what I saw. And I know people, but we shouldn't put too much pressure, even though there is so much pressure. It's just unfortunate. Playing for United comes with a lot of expectations. So there's going to be a lot of expectations from him. People are going to want more and more and more. But what we need to do is encourage these people to, let's give him time to settle. Like every other player that has come into the club, let's give him his season, and then let's review. Let's see if we think he can get better, or if we are on, you know what I mean? Let's give him time. But the excitement that he gave us was just something that we needed. Even though we were losing, just seeing him doing that, it gave us encouragement, because we were like, you know what? The next game, Rasmus is definitely starting. So you guys have to deal with our new problem. You know what I mean? So it was nice. But again, I wasn't really mad about the 3-1, because in my head, Arsenal got away with it. Like, if we didn't have the issues that we had, that game would have been 1-1. So I wasn't hurt. Those goals came in, and you could see, like, the way they came in, there was no stopping them. We fucked ourselves. You know what I mean? But I wasn't upset. I was just upset with our performances as players. Onana was kind of getting on my nerves. This thing of, hey, ball playing goalkeeper. Hey, he pings balls to players. How many balls did he fucking lose? How many balls did he lose? Man, those things are annoying me. And we're talking about David De Gea. Why? Why did we get rid of David De Gea? Why? Why? Because Onana, all I'm seeing him doing, I mean, yes, I see the change. Him coming in to that defense, he becomes an extra man. He helps push the team forward. He becomes a center back when he's there playing with the ball. He also, that confidence that he has, it stops players from pressing, because they know if they make that press and he dribbles past you and he makes the pass into you, the space that you've just left, then you look like a fool. You know? So people are trying to gauge that. But my God, slowing the game down like Harry Maguire, you know, taking his time, complaining when he got his yellow card. Dude, no, this time you fucking took your time. Play the ball. Don't try and be too fancy. Like, bro, like, I can't deal with that kind of pressure, especially when the team is not ticking. Then you have a player who's sort of blasé. Like, yo, relax. Like, we know you have a personality, but not against hard pressing teams. You know, Salah is a player that you should fear, because that nigga can press you. He will just jog. And then you think, then from nowhere, Salah is in the mix there. He's taking the ball. He's gone because of this dilly-dallying thing. I wasn't happy with Onana's performance, to be honest. I didn't like it. I don't blame him for the goals, but I didn't like his performance. His performance slowed us down. It made us look, you know what we were doing. Very, very risky passes, which if they were intercepted, my God, we would be having a different conversation. People will be wanting this guy's head. He needs to make sure that he doesn't put us in a funk. It's good to have your personality, but yo, dog, just stick to the rules. Like, just follow how we are. Yeah, like, we get it.
Don't get consumed into, you know, dude, your persona or whatever. You know, too much.
You look at Alisson.
Put the team at risk.
Yeah, you look at Alisson and Edison. They are ball playing goalkeepers, but you don't see them abusing their power. You don't see them trying to be too funny. But then they get the job done. They save. The guy can ping balls to players because he's got that accuracy. Do that. Stop with this other stuff of trying to put people's. Yeah, but other than that, man, I wasn't upset. And there was nothing really to say about that one. You know, it was a derby, like you said. Everything, the way everything happened, it kind of like absorbed the shock and the pain for me.
Yeah.
But the players need to improve more. I'm not going into a certain player because I just I'm expecting him to improve. But Rashford for me is he's on my shit list. I need more. Like
Yeah.
those chances that he always, like when they're both taken away from him because he's dribbling too much or because he's second guessing his decision. Those moments, like if he would just make a decision and pass or
He needs to be very
whatever,
decisive.
like yes, we would see that
Very
no,
decisive.
we
There'll be a huge
we
difference.
get you, you're trying. But then you
Yes.
do that thing and then you lose the ball. And then here's another thing.
Yeah.
When he loses the ball at that moment, I don't know if you've noticed it. He doesn't track back for it.
Yeah.
He waits
whine
for
and
somebody and then
complain,
he will go behind
and then only
after,
that's when he
which
does
is
the
not
tracking
all right.
back.
Which is not all right. You lose the
Yeah.
ball, you fucking go get it because you lost it. You've killed everybody's thing. That's the law. That is the principle. I think it's rule number 1 in football. You lose the ball, you better fucking go chase for it.
Exactly.
Like, you don't wait for another man to do it for you. So Rashford, for me, at the moment, I mean, he's doing his output, he's scoring goals, he's providing assists, but he could do more. He could really help the team even more. That's that's where I'm at.
I agree with you, and I think with Rashford, the way I sort of see it is that he needs to trust his other players to also get the job done. Sometimes I feel that because he's coming off a good season, it's like at a certain point of the game, he feels like I'm the one who needs to win. You understand what I mean? So even after we equalize, and there's another one where he took like a rugby shot try, and you're like, but there was man in front of you. You understand what I mean? Why did you rush it? There was no rush, and you just went boom, and you're like, what was that for? You understand what I'm saying? And then obviously that one that we spoke about, that Rasmus is fast, Anthony is fast. He could have made the early pass instead of running all the way to the box and then stuffing it up. Because if that was Bruno in that position, if that was Anthony in that position, if that was even Sancho in that position, that early pass would have been Facundo. That early pass would have been made. He didn't have to cover that distance because he had Rasmus and he had Anthony already making the run. All he had to do was make a cross pass. The keeper was never going to come out for that ball because we're chasing from the halfway line. Rasmus would have got that ball and gone with it. The same way, who gave Garnacho that offside goal?
It was Bruno.
It was Bruno. Exactly.
It was Bruno.
Very quick. He sees it. He sees like, oh man, Bruno, I can't talk enough about that guy. Dude,
bro.
Rashford needs to be making decisive decisions, and he has to always know that he needs to be looking up more often and saying that before I 20-yard dash, no. There's faster players, there's one-on-one or two-on-two. I can hit this ball across, let them fight it out to get it. And then if we get it, they're creating more chances for us to go into what needs to be done.
And you know what's funny, D? You see the way he's behaving, like the way he's playing. That's almost like how a striker plays in the middle.
Yeah.
That's why people see, like, that's why coaches are thinking, okay, the way you are attacking these players, kind of you are taking them on and then you stop and then you turn back. Usually strikers, that's what they do. Exactly. So what do you, man, it's crazy.
It's the confusion of United, man. I think they get confused in their head because, you know, in their mind, they're running like a winger, but because they've been told to play as a striker, it's like half and half in their head of, oh my God. It's like they're almost like playing out the situation in their head. Like, what is the manager thinking when I'm running with the ball? You understand what I'm saying? Does he want me to be a striker or does he want me to be a winger in this moment? And then by the time it's too late, by the time he realizes it's in the box, he's like, oh shit, I'm in the box. Oh, what am I supposed to do? You know what I'm saying? So I really think this whole thing of United converting players, it really needs to stop. It really needs to stop. We need to just be buying players for the position that they're meant to play and not buy them and then we start questioning ourselves. But why is X player playing in that position when we bought him for this position? It needs to stop because it's not doing us any good at all. So yeah, man. But you know, with all this news and stuff going on, like obviously I'm diverting a little bit, but you know, it's such a shame that speaking of players that we have needed, you know, it's almost gone to pass that, you know, it's almost like the fan base haven't noticed that we've got Amrabat. You know what I mean? With all the with all the nonsense we're prepared to talk about, we have a BDM that we've been crying for, and we can't even give him the time of the day because of all the other nonsense that's happening.
fuck. Like, we're not giving him the time he deserves, Exe. Like,
we're not
it's
giving him the
so
time he
annoying.
deserves. And it is. And honestly, with Rasmus obviously being introduced, and I'm also happy that not a lot of United players. Anyway, I'm not sure, but I don't think a lot of United players are going to play for their clubs during this international break.
Really?
But at least, because Sancho obviously not selected.
Bruno,
Ahmed is not going.
Martinez,
Bruno, Martinez.
Garnacho.
Martinez can't play. Martinez is injured. He can't play.
No,
So,
apparently he bounced. He's with Argentina. I'm telling you.
is this another Pogba situation?
Which was crazy because they were like, they thought his injury, like there was something I was listening to yesterday, and they were like, hey man, it's tricky because if he was not injured during the game, then he should have stayed on. But then they took him out because they thought he would be injured. But after that, we found out that no, it wasn't that bad. So he was able to go and join Argentina. So he's gone with Garnacho.
So now we have to cross our fingers and hope that these boys don't get injured during international break, because then we literally don't have a squad left. Literally.
Yes. Onana's gone as well.
Yeah.
I'm assuming Eriksen is part of the Danish squad. Casemiro is the captain of Brazil. Bruno, Portugal.
Definitely.
Anthony might go for Brazil. We don't know.
Yeah, so it's basically the first team.
Rasmus is also a Danish international.
Yeah.
So a lot of our starting. Scott McTominay on Scotland, Maguire, England.
Bissaka never got caught.
Who?
Got caught out. Bissaka.
No.
Yeah.
Because there are too many good crossers.
That's I get it, but that's so shocking because England have had a problem in that defensive area, but they still want to start both Trent and all these other ones ahead of Bissaka. And I'm like, guys, that's a quick fix. You know? Like, you're worried about offensive output when these other beasts in the England squad that you don't need Trent to be there and then take a hit in your defense because of that. You know, you guys are good. Oh, Phil Foden. Oh, what? And you're coming in crying about one player. Come on, guys.
Anyway.
Come on. Bissaka deserves a start. But yeah, man, looking forward to Amrabat, coming into that squad. Naturally, we're thinking that he's going to replace Eriksen. Yeah. Optimistically, thinking that, of course, now we have Amrabat, maybe we can see Eriksen playing as a number 10 because we don't want to see Bruno playing the entirety of the season that we did see him last season. So hopefully it also give Mason Mount and Eriksen a chance to play in the number 10 position. Occasionally, of course, making a swap with Amrabat. But if Amrabat...
That number 10 is for Bruno, man. I'm sorry. Bruno's. I'm sorry. Those guys will have to duke it out. Something will happen, but Bruno is not moving out of that number 10. Man, the manager loves Magnifico. Yeah. He loves it. Yeah. I don't know. Something will give. But you know what I think? I actually think the casualty will be Eriksen.
Yeah, it will, definitely.
Yeah,
it will.
I think it will be Eriksen.
Look, I haven't watched Amrabat play. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend to know the type of player he is, but from what I'm getting, he has the energy levels of Fred, and with from what I'm hearing, and then of course with the tenacity of Casemiro. So I'm like, that's a formula that can't go wrong. You know what I mean? If we're getting Fred type of energy,
it's Casemiro, impossible to go wrong. And you know what's crazy?
I don't want to hear any excuses.
You know what's crazy? We can play Amrabat if he can play as the CDM without Casemiro.
Yeah.
He can do it that job by himself. And we can also play as a number 8. Like he can play up top. So he can interchange with Casemiro.
He can interchange. So it'll really
have a player that Erik ten Hag is going to enjoy because of that flexibility. We've been looking, he's using that 2 pivot, whatever midfield, that in the 3 with the 2 at the base.
Yeah.
Amrabat is perfect because he doesn't need to go up front. He can literally just stay in the middle and at the back there and let Bruno handle everything because technically he's good. So I'm excited.
And like I said, obviously not Eriksen to start, but Eriksen is a beast. You know what I mean?
He's a beast. He's a beast.
For United, I think for United, he had the most assists for United last season, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yes,
Now
he did.
imagine if you're getting the full energy of Bruno for like 70, 80 minutes, and then you're ending off the game with Eriksen coming on for Bruno. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Bro.
Now it's just him feeding the passes because he comes on with Garnacho with fresh legs, and then you got a fresh Eriksen feeding a fresh Garnacho. Come on.
It's electric. It's just going to be
That's,
sparks
that's
everywhere.
what we want. Exactly. That's what we want. We want those type of options coming off the bench in players in position, that are going to be effective on the pitch and not coming in as a number 8 or whatever. Where we know that in another position they can offer way more. You understand?
Yeah.
So this Amrabat acquisition has been really good, and I'm just upset that a lot of nonsense in the news. And you know what nonsense I'm talking about has overshadowed the fact that we've got a player that we wanted as first priority signing. Not him specifically, but in that position, that was first priority for this season to get another CDM to help Casemiro carry that load. So I'm fine. I'm happy that we've got that player, and I can't wait for the international break to be over because I'd really love to see him integrated in the squad. But yeah.
And you know what? I actually think Amrabat is actually the best signing United have made this season. When you look when you take into consideration the players we needed for certain positions. Yes, we didn't get a center back, but we managed to get in another midfielder because our midfield, even though it looked stacked, but there was just no quality. So at least now we have somebody there to kind of like give us a little bit of hope. Because you know what I was thinking yesterday? I was just thinking, imagine if Amrabat, I know he's not fit, but he could have come in and done a decent job, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But again, I get it. It's too soon. He never had a preseason. He was training all by himself. He's really not at that level. We might have even caused more problems than actually solving anything because he could have gotten injured and then we would have missed him. So, yeah, unfortunately, the nonsense surrounding the club right now overshadowed that we have a very good player amongst us and we should be happy. Our midfield problem, they're not yet solved because we need another midfield in there. But we have Donny van de Beek there. We have Scott McTominay there. These are players that we needed them to fill in, to come in as substitutes to help stabilize the game or change whatever. Those guys need to up their level so that when they are coming in as substitutes, the drop-off or the level doesn't drop drastically. It remains almost in the same level, So, yeah, man, like I'm excited for Sofian. I really am. But yeah, man, I think for this one, I think we can call it because I think there's not really much to say because, like we mentioned, we're not really upset, but we're upset about the things that the players we expect them to bring, they don't bring. So those are the certain little things that we can, but I'm sure they can iron them out. They've got an international break now. They can go now and reflect because we collected 6 points from 12. They need to go there and realize, have that look in the mirror moment and say, yo, what's going on? What's happening with me? Why am I not training that hard? Why am I not putting in the shift? Why am I not scoring? Why am I not assisting? They need to go and ask themselves these questions. Not go international break and start chilling with the boys and start producing amazing football there and doing the things. And then we come back here and then you bring us this nonsense. Nah. We're not having that. We're not having that. Yeah.
True.
So 100%. So we're gonna conclude that podcast in that manner. And Dee, are you going to do the honors? Pastor
yeah,
Dee?
no, of course. Going into this 2-week international break, it does not mean that we will not release episodes. So we will definitely have a lot to say about a lot of things, before the international break is concluded and going into, or continuing with the Premier League. But yeah, with that being said, you guys can catch us on your favorite podcasting streaming platforms. You can catch us on Spotify podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Zencaster, Castbox. You can catch us everywhere. Be sure to subscribe, share, like, go onto our website to follow our community on WhatsApp so we can continue this conversation. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, man.
Peace.